Well, I think there's more staged events against gun owners going on. I'll call it out as staged events because they sound a little bit too textbook scripted to present the argument for the anti-gun people. Now, I'm not saying that anti-gun people like in that have an opinion that are Americans, but and I want to actually get this straight right from the beginning. I know like in the alternative media, they keep saying it's the government that is doing this and the government is doing that. It's not really the government. It is actually certain elements that are pushing this, and they want to control the government because government, by definition, is force. It's force. There's certain elements that want to control the government and use that force to control people. So they want to disarm people. It's not like the government is dreaming this all up, because by and large, most people in the government are very good people. I know they can be very careerist too, and maybe look the other way because they want to save their government job and pension, and they got a lot of that too. But by and large, a lot of people that work in the government are good people. Just want to get that out of the way. But this looks like these latest events look like they're textbook scripted out of some play that, like in other words, the argument with assault, well, they call them assault weapons, which is freaking stupid. They're actually semi-automatic weapons that use black plastic in a pistol grip. They're not even assault weapons, but they have a pistol grip on them, right? The way they hold a weapon or something. So that's another term. I shouldn't even call it that, but the black plastic rifles. And they want to ban the black plastic rifles because they're saying they're used for assault. And, they had one incident now just recently, in the last week I think it was, when in Georgia, that this one person tried to storm the courthouse, make an assault on a courthouse with his black plastic weapon or assault weapon, you want to call it. It depends on how you want to phrase it. And it just so happened that the SWAT team was being ready for another event, and they reacted in 37 seconds. I was interesting. Boy, that was really a stroke of luck. That's a good stroke of luck because the guy was going to do something. But I'm beginning to wonder, like, I really, you heard about all the mind ops and the MK Ultra and all that other garbage. You never know what the hell's going on with this garbage. It's a little bit too scripted. And now we have the other one where it's this person or two people shoot two cops having lunch someplace, doing nothing, just having lunch, and they just pick them out of the blue, and they kill another innocent bystander, then they kill themselves, and they say, "We are the revolution." Before they kill themselves, they say, "We are the revolution." I'm like, oh boy. I'm going to give you I'm going to give an example on, because we know that, we know with the police, it's like a mixed bag. I mean, it's human nature, right? I mean, you always got some bad cops mixed in with the good cops, right? But, every once in a while, you hear about an incident where a cop does something wrong to somebody, or does this and that, or maybe, goes too excessive on force, or even kill somebody or something. But you don't even hear about a family member that is a gun owner taking vengeance out on a cop for some specific act that maybe in this case that guy was doing something. The one happened to be in a blue uniform, I'll say, because he wasn't worthy of being a cop, did something really heinously wrong. You don't even hear about that. But supposedly we have this incident where these two individuals just picked out two cops having lunch peacefully, doing absolutely nothing, and they just shoot them, and then they say, "We are the revolution," and they shoot themselves. And since they shot themselves, that means it's like, you got no way to find out what the hell's going on with them, or question them, or nothing. It's almost like you wonder if these people were pre-programmed or brainwashed to do this garbage. You almost wonder. It's a little bit, that's a conspiracy theory, but these events recently are just too well scripted. And if we go back to, say, the Sandy Hook shooting at the school, we know that, if you just look at the news reports, they say they found Adam Lanza, he was the sole shooter and all this kind of, that's what they say. then we know that the police were chasing somebody through the woods. And you can see that all over the helicopter videos, but they say there was only one shooter. And I can tell you that I am familiar, somebody like Adam Lanza that was like a basement dweller with busy video games. I'm going to say I think people don't understand what's involved with the skills of swapping out magazines and doing all this. That he would have been like of the skills of probably the best trained professional people going, and he wasn't. So that likely was a big time setup too. And actually, they even showed that there was contribution pages already set up on Facebook prior to the shooting, so they knew it was like they had advanced knowledge that it was going to happen. They showed the date where there was, contribution donations for the victim set up prior to the shooting, actually prior to the shooting in Sandy Hook. So, I think that was another setup, and we have two more setups going on here. And Obama is like, oh, we got to... Obama is Uncle Tom Obama working for the Global Plantation. And, it looks like... Well, I'm going to put one common sense thought out there for you, because it looks like there is a true conspiracy, not an Alex Jones type. I'm not going to play that kind of drama, but it looks like there's a true conspiracy to disarm all Americans. And, if it's so... To what I understand is, though, it's like, if you look at what happened in some of these other countries, if you want to look at real control of people and how corrupt... Well, I don't want to get into too much, but if you look at how corrupt some of the other countries can possibly get when there's absolute control on the top, that's when millions get massacred. And, that's when Holocaust happened. We have to remember that during the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, there was a few people that had arms, a few Jews that had arms, and they were able to they tried to defend themselves valiantly, but they were crushed. They were crushed. If there were 6 million Jews that had arms, they would have been all survivors. They would have all been survivors, or most of them. So we got to keep this in mind. There is, and if they're looking for your weapons or whatever it is, or your guns, and they're looking, if they're trying to play games and call black plastic rifles assault weapons, or whatever the hell they're trying to say, they're just using any type of excuse they possibly can to disarm Americans, and it's for nefarious reasons. But these all smell like staged events. They do, very much so. And major media, I noticed, if you try to put a comment on some of these major media channels, they filter through them like crazy. They will not allow comments that they disagree with. So it's the major media is they're in cahoots with this garbage, big time. And we also have to watch the alternative media, because it's not a government conspiracy per se. It's like there's people that have infiltrated the government, and they're trying to shape and mold the government through politics, news media, and actually maybe there's top people even in high positions in the government or in the military that are bad apples, that are part of this garbage, or maybe they're just go along with it part and parcel. But by and large, most of the government is not like that at all. Just keep in mind, the government is not the enemy, because I know what's going to come out from the supposed opposite side alternative media like Alex Jones. He's going to be screaming it's a government plot. It's not a government plot. It's a certain type of group of people that are looking to use the government and take over with new rules so they can control people. Yeah, I guess you can call that conspiracy, but, if you freaking ever opened up your eyes to life the way things are, there's always been things like that where people collude in secret because they want more power, and that's just how things have been since all of recorded history. It's not something that's unique, not at all. It's gone, there's been political intrigue and governmental intrigue and Corporate intrigue going on for centuries. And that's just how it is. It's human nature. Some people are rotten and want to control others. So for the people that want to go along with this, you're I don't even want to call you sheep because you're below sheep, but there are a number of Americans that are biting into this garbage as it's total fact. And I think it really does smell like a setup to the max. It's too well scripted. And again, like I said, you don't even see anybody taking any action, violent action against a cop that maybe did something. Say it was one of the bad apples that did something to a family member. You don't even see anybody taking violent action against them. Yet you're seeing like, oh, there's two people that went out and just killed two cops, and out of nowhere, having lunch, doing nothing. They didn't do anything against. They weren't bad apple cops or even nothing. There was nothing going on. There was nothing to antagonize. And then they say we're the revolutionaries, and since they're dead, nobody can question these two people as to what do you mean you're the revolutionaries? What's the source? Who's the other revolutionaries? Well, I guess you know what it is. It's supposed to be that it's all the gun owners that are revolutionaries, right? Is that what they're playing? And, the other thing is about this guy storming the courthouse, that the SWAT team just happened to be there and reacted in 37 seconds. That's a very mathematically high odds of something happening, like that. So you got to figure something's really not smelling right with this deal. Not at all. So do you beware? And unfortunately, I think a lot of the people in the United States are they need to get bowled over to buy the bullshit because they're too busy being distracted by garbage and they don't want to bother. And but as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. It's a matter of that's what other people want to think. That's fine by them, but I'm not going to be part of that thought process the way I think a lot of lethargic Americans are, because they were born into freedoms, they've had it good, and they can't imagine having to go bad. But if you look at all the history of what happened in Eastern European nations and things that happened in other nations where the government went bad, when it goes bad, it goes real bad. It can happen very bad. So anyway, over and out. Just beware. This is more than likely an operation that's been scripted. I think so.